Good evening, everyone. This is a select board meeting for September 12th of 2022. We'll read tonight's agenda. Under new business, we have Steve Harnaz here, and Chris Comstock from Sheldon School, signage on Poor Farm Road. Approve August 22nd meeting minutes. We need to sign some warrants. Jeff Catel's here, got roadside mowing, got fleet permit signed. And Seth Catel's here from the highway department. Is there anything else we need to?
Can we go into executive session to discuss road crew? Please and thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Good. Alright, we'll jump right in there. Steve, you're on first, I guess.
Yeah, I've had a farm road to get up on my property almost on Terry's Lane since 1997 when I bought the farm. I've always been able to get up in there. They had a small ditch. Last fall they decided to get that deep. I didn't need to get up in there last fall, so I left it till spring. Didn't see a culvert, so I filled it in to get up there to do my work. I see they have dug it out again, so I assume since you want your ditches deeper, you have got to put a culvert in there for me. I mean, there ain't 200 gallons of water go down through there, an 8-inch pipe won't take care of it. It ain't no expensive thing, I don't think, but I can't get up there the way they got it.
Okay. So it's, where are you now? Before
Right on Terry's line there, right by his house.
Oh, okay.
My line is,
Is that the only access to that field?
it is,
To that road?
I got the brook that comes down through there, steep ravine. I bought it in 97, I used it for a farm road. The gate's been there, trees are all cut, where I am the road.
Okay.
It's not ain't gonna take a big fix. I don't think.
Alright.
There was no culvert before, or was a culvert?
No, I was able to get up there, they dug it down enough now, so, I can't jump a ditch that deep. Just wondered if they could put something in there.
Yep. And we can fix that up for you. We'll look into that.
That's all I need.
So you need it? Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Have a good night.
Chris?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I think most of you know me. I'm Chris Comstock. I've been a teacher at Sheldon Elementary for about 16 years. And, I also function as a safety security coordinator over there. We have some new administration this year. One of the first things that she noticed was the traffic on Poor Farm, which runs right kind of through our parking lot or abutting our parking lot, is often at times traveling at high rates of speed and not always obeying all the signage. And there's not a whole lot of signage there, especially coming from the bottom of Poor Farm up towards the school. We cross that road quite often. We have a nature center, we have the greenhouse, soccer fields. We just put a maple sugaring rig in across that road. We have the Sheldon Woods, which we utilize quite a bit, and that's where all the sugaring happens. So we have staff and students crossing quite regularly. And at times, there's a lot of different types of traffic through there. We have agricultural equipment, we have logging equipment, we have normal traffic, we have just all sorts of, and during the sugaring season, there's tankers and stuff going through. So it's a concern of our new administration. We're just here to kind of bring that to your attention, brainstorm a little bit, maybe hopefully, she was thinking speed bumps. I don't know how that works, but if nothing else, maybe some just increased signage or something a little more aggressive.
Is there a crosswalk painted across?
So we have I think across that main one, there's a crosswalk down by that bottom parking lot.
Okay.
And there's signs denoting those crosswalks, but in terms of anything saying school zone on 105 either way, we have those flashing lights and it says school, but coming from Port Farm, I don't believe there's anything that says school zone. And that stop sign right at the top of the hill there for Port Farm where our school meets Port Farm, that's one that's often zipped through and we got buses coming out of there. So that might be a good place. There's already a stop sign there. I don't know what the rules are, sticking a sign underneath that stop sign, just reinforcing this is a school zone, slow it down. So
Yeah.
just a concern. We've been seeing, I think, more traffic, and we of course are having more and more kids.
Right.
So just something we wanted to bring forward. And
Yeah, that, road parking lot thing has been an issue for.
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, you know.
And the way the school's set up, I mean, it's a nightmare for pickups and drop-offs, and it's a very funneled area for a lot of people at two very specific points in the day, and it really is a nightmare.
The school was built back when there wasn't as many teachers.
Absolutely.
And
Not as many kids.
all the kids rode the school bus.
Yep.
And now it's a lot of traffic goes through there now.
Absolutely.
Is she gonna bring it to her administration, her concerns?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think she just assumed that step would be here, but that is something we can do. In terms of the superintendent,
Just her notification that, you know, this is not saying we're not gonna take care of it, but that she knows it's an issue because it's it's not, Sheldon doesn't own it directly anymore, it's for their schools, so some of this, there's things that, we can do here, but there's also things on their end they can do.
Yeah.
And is she looking for permanent speed bumps, or is she looking for like a temporary ones that can go down seasonally, or does she not care? I'm just asking.
I don't know the answer to that. I assume that would be more along your end. That was just a suggestion.
I'm just asking questions, so. that's-
Yeah.
Maybe for us, the best thing would be to come up with a plan maybe and on what we would need for signs or maybe even flashing lights on those crosswalks or, I don't know, come up with some sort of plan and then go to you and your administration and see if you guys like that idea and stuff before we just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
we'd find out what we can do for signage legally and maybe, flashing lights on the crosswalk when kids are gonna be crossing there and something like that. We can look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be something we can do for you guys. Try to figure something out.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Much appreciated.
How's the school year going so far?
It's been wild. It's been wild. That's not just our school. That's the name of the game at this point, I think. But we're hanging
It's
in
even
there.
harder with nice weather to rope them down, huh?
Absolutely. But we're all hanging in. We're doing the best we can. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Alright. Jeff, you wanna come up here with your spiel?
Good.
Sales pitch? You didn't write anything down, did you?
No, I can no. Before we start, I told Seth to pick the gravel out of that ditch. And there was never a gateway there. The gate's 500 feet east. There used to be. The fence is such in bad shape, there's no recognizable fence anymore. A good electric fence in there. And 2 years ago when we ditched that,
Yeah. It's like a rough four-wheeler trail that fast, I mean.
the brush came in there on that corner, and we went up there when I helped Seth for the summer, and we ditched all that, and I don't think he went far enough to my satisfaction. But the old barbed wire fence is still in there. And that has been bad for 20 years, and you put electric fence on it. And I've been able to mow that much down through there since, because the fence is falling in the road. And when we did ditch it this spring, let's see, yeah, this spring, first time I mowed the roadsides, I think I told Seth, I said, he's got some gravel in there, and it was, water was from here to the cover, up the ditch, you know, that deep. And so I told Seth, you can't have the water next to the road, drain it the other way, or, you know, and he did. So, did a good job of moving the water.
That's just our notes for this.
But he can get up there with a four-wheeler, and there was no set gate there. I don't care what he says.
Okay.
But anyways, I wanna offer the town my tractor, I mow the roadsides with. Tractor and mower, and I have a loader for it. Be a good fit. Loader isn't big, it's what they need, but if their backhoe breaks in the middle of the night in the winter time, you can load sand with it. 2 more bucket loads. And I would like the town to take the sweeper off the loader, backhoe, and get one for that tractor. Because the tractor can be, it's light enough to put on the trailer and go down to Menardyville, sweep the whole place up without running everything up down the road. And then get a chipper, 3-point hitch chipper. Because there's a lot of little patches around where I think that big mower he wants to get rent, I don't think you need that every year. There's patches, you can use it. But there's a lot of other places, you know, 200 feet here, you go in there with a chipper, you're gonna do something with the brush, you know, some of it, you know, some of it's limbs that are quite a ways back, you can just go back in the trees, and, you know. And I would offer it to you, the tractors and mower is in the best shape it's ever gonna be in. If I wait till I'm done mowing roadsides, you know, who knows how long that'll be, I'm ready to retire. And not because I don't wanna do it or can't do it, but a lot more traffic than there used to be. I used to be able to do it when there was less traffic, you know, in the middle of the day, whatever. You know, more or less traffic anymore. You know, especially down the west end and stuff. And I have to drive it down 105. These guys got a trailer, they could lug it, you know, or drive it, whatever. And I thought the sweeper, when they would shim the road, you know, sweep would mess up afterward, you know, and everybody's happy. And I would offer it total price $27,500, but I would take $2,500 as a down payment. The money's not in the budget, so you can pay me after the budget passes. Meanwhile, I can bring the tractor down and you can use it in the wintertime if you need it, you know, for a backup loader. And I don't have to store it under cover. You guys are. And then $5,000 a year for 5 years after the tax bills are out. When you start collecting money, all I'm gonna do is pay my taxes with it, so you get it back. So if you think far enough out, it's not gonna cost the town anything.
You still don't pay your taxes. Well, you only get it on.
No, I'll pay the taxes, but I mean, I just thought, you give me the money to the tractor, I'm gonna give it back to you. And it would give Seth an opportunity, if he were to run the tractor mower, to find, because I'm always telling him where spots are outside the road that you just need that, because you're right there seeing it. And he has a view then, you know. And they can mow 6 o'clock in the morning, where there's not much traffic, or get there, you know. I don't get up at 6 anymore. But you know what I mean?
So you see working on thing?
Good. Breezy day.
Yeah.
No, it's in good shape, new tires on it. And Berkshire has one, same size tractor, a little bit older, I think. And they have a mower like mine, and they share it with the town of Ginsburg. And Montgomery has a tractor the same size as John Deere. And they have a mower, and they have a 3-point hitch sweeper on the back. But the sweeping part, I would like to have the town get, because that frees up the backhoe's made for digging. And, you know, it's not made for sweeping. Well, again, and I would not like to run it on, for the town either, so.
So you're saying you'd like to sell it to us, you're resigning from mowing in 2 years, or are you resigning from mowing now?
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
bring-
trying to, sniffing this completely out while we're saying
You
this.
still got 1 year in your
Yeah.
contract.
Yes, I do. But, yeah, I like
But you're
it.
saying that's an opportunity for.
Yeah, it's an opportunity you guys need to take advantage of. It would be a good piece of equipment, useful to the town. And, I think the price is right. And I'm gonna sell it one way or another anyways. I'm 67. And
What year is that?
it's 89. So it's a 3910 Ford. It's 47 horse. It's the last, the 10 series is the last model for that, you know. And a very reliable tractor. In the mower, the mowers Berkshire and Montgomery have are the oil bath mowers.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is an individual,
Disc.
the gear cases. And I have shock hubs on it. And I'm pretty diligent. I swap the turtles so each side wears out, paint them twice a year. So, you know, I mean, it's no different than plowing, painting a plow, you know, to stop wear. So, and it's actually 39 years I've been mowing. It's the best mower I've had on the roadside. Easiest to fix and simple to maintain.
How long is the mower?
5 years.
5 years.
And a replacement mower of that design is $16,500. And it might be, well, you know, pricey, but that's no interest on that financing. Kills my wife. She says, "You're what?" No, I've lived here long enough. I just give you the straight deal. I would say, yeah, Bill. Where it's good now, and I'll put on the end of the deal too, as is where it is, right? And I do have a factory roll bar on it. You know how the seat belt. And it's not, you know, good shape. You can come up and see it. Steve's seen it. Seth's seen it. You know.
Seen it drive by.
And not only the traffic, but God, last 3 years I've been called number one so many times you can't even think about it. Cut off, you know. I mean, just for going down the long road doing my business, honking, cutting off, and I just, you know, it's coming to a point where I don't need.
We just talked about that the last meeting we just came from, the lack of respect.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this isn't like during rush hour when people are going back and forth to work. I always go like after 9 in the morning, and I'm usually done before 3 unless I'm up like on Cattell Road where, you know, it's close to my house and it doesn't matter when you're out there because it's like, wow, I would say there's 2-3 cars or more than that, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But on 105, man, it's like going to the Colton Road and West End and stuff, you know, you do a little traveling up and down 105. A lot of people in a hurry. And that's where I thought, like, well, sweeping or having a chipper, you know, they can load it, your trailer's heavy enough to, I have a trailer just like it. After Greg went that we use the camera, I had to buy my own. Well, anyways, you know, the tractor will go on that trailer, tow it with your tractor. But,
Certainly something we can discuss.
yeah, I think it's a good idea.
You don't want your name or anything like that on it, you know, like tractor by, you know.
It's not a donation,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a purchase.
I didn't know, like, you know, because you've done it for so long, if you need to be recognized or anything like that.
No, I got paid every year for what I do.
Okay. Well, I thought I wanted to ask, clarify, you know, those hidden things in the documents.
No. Hotels have been around town long enough. I have enough, yeah, no, never mind. Got a road named after us, you know? So, that's close enough. But, appreciate your time.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
We'll discuss it, let you know.
Don't give them a hard time about that, because some of that stuff is my fault. I told them, this is how we do it, and Parnas wants it fixed, charge them for a coat. I'm sure you double the price. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's go.
This week we're starting our small, grant, we're at $12,000 one to fix up Church Street. Cut a bunch of brush and bigger trees down this morning, and we started plucking those, guardrail posts out. There's one culvert to replace on that road, and then, the grant's gonna cover the guardrails. It's like 240 feet worth, so it's a good shot.
Yeah, they're all lined up, come good, huh?
Yeah, it'd be like more toward the end of October, but I'm
Yeah,
still working on to try to get most of the material up here, but we've been straight out, I guess, like everyone else, so, hopefully it'll work out, because the grant's due at the end of the month, so, we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, the Gary Road guys usually, they save all the small town jobs, unfortunately, until the end of the year.
yeah.
It's like, you know, rain season or spit and snow kind of deal. But we're on the list, so. We have the sand pile done, the spring, stone pile's pretty much done. I fixed some washouts up on Duffy Hill and, Gilman over there last week.
What's your thought on, Parnas thing?
I don't know, I can go, we have some small culverts right in that yard. You know, like, those small ones are like $100 or whatever.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
put it in,
Yeah.
all gravel over it,
Yeah.
call it good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried getting the paving done for the school. I got an email back from Hungerford saying they're too busy this year. So that's Bushy's said they were gonna come check it out, and then I didn't hear back from them. I called, and it was just a voicemail saying they're booked for the year.
Okay.
Call back next year.
Yeah, maybe we.
Yeah, you gotta start early on that.
Yeah, but
That's
maybe,
our own fault.
maybe if we, get it all lined up this winter, and they come in spring.
Yeah, they said they come. I mean, it's not one of their probably freighter drops, and with being all fenced in and all square corners and stuff, and probably more of, you know, the other driveways and whatnot, but
Yeah,
they said they'll check it out, so. I got the brush cutter lined up for the last week of September, if that's cool with you guys.
Yep.
There's a few roads that are, median, they're kind of out of our reach. I think it reach up like 20 feet and get all the higher stuff hits on the trucks in the winter time, just, you know. So I have a few roads picked out for that.
Just make sure when you do it, I don't care if you have Jim follow you, just make sure the brush is out.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
like, in off people's yards, if you get to where the last tree is and there's branches that get shot in there, just have them take it off the lawns, even if you hit that, just, cause we don't want the phone calls,
Yeah.
I'd rather, have that effort than, then let's have the phone calls, or you have the phone calls,
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
That's, I guess, my 2 cents on that, just, we make sure that it's
Yeah.
cleaned
It's
up.
a little bit of money. It's like $3,000 a week, but I think we can roll it into some of the grant money, especially this one coming up, and might be able to pay for some of it, you know. they said that I called around, but unfortunately, like this is like one of the last ones that are around that actually rent the brush cutter out. Like Tenko used to have one, and they're gone, and there's a few other places that you can rent those from, but
Does any towns around us have their own?
yeah, Fairfield has one, Swan has one. I
They go on their backhoes or go on their own tractors?
own tractors. I just talked to Butch last week. They said they just bought one. Franklin doesn't have one, but I think they swap. They use Berkshire once every few years. Berkshire has an old tractor like Jeff's the one on there.
With a big arm, just like,
Yeah, with a small tractor, but it's got arm on it. It
it's
does
got
good job.
pretty good counterweights on it too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Enosburg has one on the grader there.
Yeah. See.
That's a beast, but I don't know if I really want to run that thing all every day.
Back roads.
Yeah. And yeah, Fairfield and I think Fairfax has one now too. They said they rent this. They have 3 tractors throughout the state, so they kind of like southern Vermont, central, and up here. They can station one out, so it gets around. And she said they're up to like 27 towns right now that rent from them. So.
What's one of those new costs, those arm things, mowers? Did you know?
Itself, I'd say like close to 20.
Fine. What's your thought on that tractor from Joe?
I don't know. We have time yet. Might be a bad deal. I've seen them on like auction sites before. I mean, obviously not like his, but like John Deere's with quite a few hours on them. They're up in the 40s. Like what the state has, the Challengers. But see, the state they have a pretty cool setup. If one of those came up for auction, that'd be the one to get. It has the boom mower on the side, and then it has the that runs off the hydraulics, and it has the flail mower that runs off the PTO.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes up like 120 or whatever, he does both. He mows along until he gets to some bushes, and you can run either or. So it's kind of like one pass deal, or
One pass and a little more, or,
Yeah.
and once you reach those farther ditches that you really wanna do.
yeah.
For spots.
Yeah, they're I've seen them on auction sites before, but they're usually in the 40s.
And those are a lot big, those Challengers are a lot bigger tractors.
They're like they're really horse tractor.
Or more.
Yeah, plus it's 4-wheel drive with a cab on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, if something breaks something major on that thing, it's have to
Yeah,
find parts on it for it.
Is it something worth looking into?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did a good job, he did 2-3 passes last time around. But, like Franklin just got a little flail mower for theirs, but the thing's only like 5 feet wide, so it barely does any. Just barely. Some places you can't really tell he's been there, And it's not long enough to stick out and hit the ditches and stuff. And those are slow going. You have to really just.
We'll still have more there.
Yeah, those flail mowers.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad setup for mowing the roadsides. I don't know about the rest of the,
Yeah.
I suppose you put a skid steer quick attach on the front of that loader and plump some hydraulics up there and put a sweeper on it. It'd be pretty handy with that, I guess, but
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, that's what we have now, though.
yeah.
Yeah, because the way he was talking was going to go on the back. You have to have good hydraulic flow. You have to have the high flow hydraulics. I don't think that tractor would have the oil cap.
Yeah, I
They
know.
probably only holds like 15 gallons of hydraulic oil or something. It'd
Yeah,
be too hot. That backer does a good job. You can see what you're doing and you can go around. Plus, you don't get heat the dust and stuff,
yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this sweeper we have. I actually just ordered some more brushes for it.
Don't throw that over
Yeah,
when you change
yeah,
it.
yeah. We've been out a few times just from stones in the road, and
Yeah.
give Jim, a few hours, and you can buzz around and hit everything you need to do. People spinning on the dirt road and stuff, and spinning. It's more of a safety thing. We don't have a problem with sweeping that, corners here and there. It's no big deal. You can hook it on that off that back in 10 minutes.
Probably sweep you into a sweep all road every time it rains, the way that water comes across 105.
Yeah.
So, the Brady situation, he's back in school,
It's back in school,
so
so
what's the,
do you want him to keep mowing, or you're expecting him to keep mowing, right? Or what's,
Yeah.
have a few more times before fall, right?
Yeah. That's hoping.
Good. Does he
I
know
I
that?
was doing myself,
Does he know that?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, yeah, he's kind of not as dependable as I thought. He started out alright, and it went from like,
Do you want to go into executive, discuss this?
I'm gonna make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, I'll take that motion, we'll go into executive session. And, all right, we are back from executive session and we talked about our highway crew and some of the things going on down there. Right now we are signing warrant, going permit. I see a meeting. No, last meeting.
Oh, last,
Let's see, that's this meeting.
I have not seen,
They in here, okay?
that's that.
Just have to make sure that he's careful with that. Like when you get up, 20 feet, like he said,
Yeah.
things bend.
So that hurts. At our previous meeting, we talked about doing the wish list for that money that we get from the federal government. The water and sewer department has some wishes. Historical Society has some wishes.
Did they give us them? Did
The
they let?
Historical Society did. Hubert was supposed to have an engineer work on his wishes. Not sure how he came out with that. He was checking with, local Bernard Jarvis to see if they could do sewer stuff.
They should be able to shoot the inverts and everything.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking. You know. I really don't feel like we should be on the roof and doing a roof unless you could do it in the next month or so on the Historical Society building. Because I'm afraid there's some damage underneath there when you start looking, because they said it's been leaking for a while. They don't know what's under that standing seam. With standing seam, you should get up there with a bucket of tar and patch some holes, can't you? We always just go on our burn roads.
Yep, I think a
If
lot
we
of
could hire
it's,
somebody to get up there,
Little barn sprayer guys.
well, no, but there's somebody with a bucket of tar and figure out where it's leaking from.
I think some of it's the old chimney that they took down,
That's
so
right
just
around the flash.
push, yeah, push a piece of steel up under and screw it down.
I think we should try to get somebody there and shore it up for the winter and come summer, did you ever look into that agreement we had with the Stroke Society? Okay. Well, I'll read these minutes from the previous meeting so we can approve those. Select Board Water Commissioner meeting minutes from August 22nd of 2022. We met here at 7:30 at the town office. Present was Stephen Dodd, David Kluvet, Nick Norris, Kim Dufresne, and Andy Crane. I opened the meeting at 7:30 and read the agenda. Andy Crane submitted a proposal to replace a roof and outside stairs on the Historical Society building. The board will put this on the list of possible use for ARPA funds. Sign warrants 2032 and 2033. Read the meeting minutes from August 8th meeting. Nick motion to accept is read, seconded by David, all in favor. I will be meeting with David Quinzel from the Vermont Old Cemetery Association on Thursday, August 25th at 9 a.m. at the Poor Farm Cemetery to discuss restoration and preservation of the cemetery. Seth reached out to Fairfield about the Riley Road, and the board will set up a meeting with Fairfield to discuss options for the road. Water meter replacement is all complete. Hubert contacted Bernard and Jarvis for estimate on new sewer line on Shawville Road and Mill Street. Contacted town attorney, asked about a legal document for the town land on Sweet Hall Road. According to 24 VSA 1061, the voters must either vote to approve the proposed sale or at least be given notice of the proposed sale and take no action. Regarding limiting the property to recreational use, the board can adopt a policy describing which uses are allowed and which are prohibited. At 8:30, David motion to adjourn, seconded by Nick, and all in favor. Meeting adjourned at 8:30. Short and sweet. I have a motion to accept these minutes as read.
I'll make a motion.
Alright, second on that.
I'll second it.
Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So on that cemetery deal, I met with that gentleman up there. Also, this guy that did the Veterans Memorial up here.
That Corwell.
Who?
Doug Corwell?
Yes, Doug Crowell. He was also up there when I got up there. He has interest in old cemeteries and taking care of it. He puts flags up there for the 2 veterans that are in that cemetery every year. And we discussed some things about the cemetery. The guy had a lot of history on it. There's a bunch of unmarked sites up there. And then the marked ones. He had talked with the Historical Society about it some. He's doing some more research on it. He's written a book about the poor farms in the state of Vermont, and so he was interested in that kind of stuff. He belongs to that association, and he said what they do is they take suggestions from people, and they try to do a couple projects a year with volunteers. And he said a lot of times, like if it's in the southern part of the state, they'll try to get people from down there together for a weekend, and they'll go in and do what they can, what they like to do on places like that. You know, some of those stones are sunk in, you know. You've got some that are up here this high, and you've got some that are this high, and they've just sunk in. There's not a lot of broken ones. It actually looks in pretty nice shape. I was gonna suggest to Brady, there's some sticks and stuff that need to be picked up in there. I'm not sure how he was mowing it, because there's some pine branches that look like they've been there for a while. But the rest of it's all mowed. It looked nice. He did a good job mowing it, except for that. But the thing that got to me is that there's a pine tree right in the middle of that I can't wrap my arms around. And it's the roots of it are pushing some of the stones up. But I said, what would you ever do with that? You know, to take that down, you'd smash cause those stones are nicely lined up, you know, and they're all the same. They're a, you know, regular, just a stone, and it's got the person's name and the date on it, and, you know, but to go in there to, I don't know.
How far in is it?
Remember the tree service to take it piece by piece?
Yeah, they crane it down, that's a
You'd
crane
have
that
to
down.
crane it out of there.
But could a crane reach to it, or is it, how far in is it?
Yeah, a crane could reach it, it's not that far, and you could pull off the road. But then there's like 4 trees in this, you know, a couple of pine trees are, and he suggested maybe just limit some of the limbs. He said, you know, you might do more damage than not if you took the whole tree down, but anyways, that was what we found, and Doug Corwell talked about, you know, preserving these old things, and he was happy to see the town mow it, because he always went up with flags in there, and he said there was a long time after the priest got done taking care of it. And he wondered if that cemetery is owned by the town, or is it still,
I don't think the deed, I couldn't see where it was.
I think it was always went with the poor farm, because it was poor farm land, they started their own cemetery there. And, so yeah, anyways, I had an interesting visit with the guy. And, he said that he was gonna bring it up at one of their meetings about doing some work. But he said that before anything was planned or done, that they would contact us to get our approval before, you know, he said they wouldn't just say, oh, we're gonna go up and straighten stones and do this and that without getting our approval to do it. But he said he would put it on the list. He was happy the way it looked compared to when it, you know, when we first, before the prison crew went and cleaned it up there, it was a mess. It looks pretty decent now. I'm happy with it. I hadn't been up there since just after the prison crew went there, so I didn't know how it looked. So that was that. Do you know if Hubert got any word back from Bernard and Jarvis if they could do that sewer line work? They don't do that?
No, yeah.
Oh, you don't have it, okay. Alright. When's the next water reading due?
Done.
Oh, it's done.
Did
They came in and
restore?
got you, they came in and got you set up on the computer and
All set up,
And
all
it
read,
worked.
all meters read.
nice.
It tells you, even it gives you warnings, like the West Rock, both West Rocks come up with a warning, like they have a leak because they use so much water.
Wow.
And he says it's because it doesn't stop. And we're like, what do you do? And he goes, I think it's because the water never stops. They use that much water continuously.
But
So-
they had, like, that business has the same meter as any other house, so that's why it comes up as a warning that they use on it.
And it will show if they have, any time during the quarter, it shows if they have a high usage. It comes up and then it'll say 8 out of the 10 days they have high usage. And so it's like, okay, what did they do during, but it fixes, so you know it's not on a meter side, it's on their side, they've done something, and then they fixed it, corrected it, because it's back. So it's pretty,
So it'll be easier when people come in and argue, you can say,
and you can go right to the meter. There, we have a program that go right to the meter and read it, and it'll give us a printout for the whole quarter, every day. And can pinpoint where each
Yeah.
days they use the most water. It's like, wow.
Pretty good. Mine was leaking a little bit, by the way. So,
Because you need the full quarter, we would probably on this.
so that's a meter?
yeah, that plumber down there, and the guy, he's like, you just need a meter change? I said, yeah, why? He said, I was just leaking a little bit.
On the meter?
Yeah,
Oh,
so he just tightened it, so. It was like a week after, it was just dripping, so just one break it up.
On which side of the meter?
June.
On the wrong side.
Yeah.
No, no big deal. Maybe down or something.
Alright,
I
anything
don't know.
else?
No,
Anything else we need to discuss?
Was that a bill from Hubert for installing the meters? Was Jack paid out of Hubert's, or is that?
Jack Roberts.
I did have a thought or a question I wanted to approach you about. Last year, the state made a big thing about naming their plow trucks. I didn't know if we wanted to do the same thing with our plow trucks with the elementary school here in town. Just throwing it out there as a thought. I mean, what your idea was, maybe to get some local touch onto our plow trucks and getting the school and the, but again, just throwing it out there as an idea. You can chew on it till next meeting if you want.
I don't know if it was. I think it would probably be pretty good, as long as we didn't give Jim too weird of a name on his truck.
That's all I had for this.
Yeah.
I guess the only other thing I was, is what do we need to do between now and next meeting regarding the Fairfield road and all that stuff? We want
Contact our attorney and
to ask a few questions that were brought up.
what would happen if we did A, B, and C?
I can send an email to Kim tomorrow, if that's easier,
Yep.
to send to the lawyer.
Yeah, see if we can get questions answered
Get a
on
few questions answered up there.
what happens if we do this, or can we legally do this?
And if we host next meeting, Ken, we need to have water and cookies for all of us.
Did you guys get one?
No. We just want to be one up and below that, okay?
Oh, they do get one.
They get water and some cookies though, trust me.
They knew we were coming.
I like cookies so long.
They're not gonna pull up like cookies.
They were warned.
No, Sheldon's going.
Alright, if we're done business, I'll take a motion to adjourn for the evening.
I'll make a motion.
Get a second on that?
I'll second it.
Alright, all in favor?
Alright.
Alright.